Yo guys, what is up? It is Nick, and so what I'm going to be doing for my Let's Plays, I think, is I'm going to be having one older game, such as Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses, which we've got here, and one more newer, modern game like Zoo Tycoon that's going on. Some more games in the future that I'm thinking old-wise are Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, Pokemon Coliseum, Yu-Gi-Oh! Falsebound Kingdom, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monsters. Those are just a few of them. Also may do something with the Man No 4 and stuff like that. So let's get into this. The British Empire in the 1480s. The Wars of the Roses, a power struggle between the houses of the Lancasters, aka the Red Rose, and York, aka White Rose, to decide a royal successor, was nearing an end. With the Yorkists well in the lead, the reign of Richard III was but a step away. And in France, Hugues Henry Tudor, the last Lancastrian heir, was being forced to live a life of exile. The Lancastrian forces were rendered powerless by ancient cards of sorcery wielded by Seto and his 7 followers who known as the Rose Crusaders, served under the flag of Lord Crawford, a powerful Yorkist nobleman. Lacking a duelist to champion their cause, defeat was imminent for the Lancastrians. In England, dual card games were still at the fledgling stage. Thus, the Lancastrians had to look elsewhere for a duel master capable of facing the Rosenkreuz in battle. With this in mind, Margaret Maid Beaufort of Lancaster secretly requested a high druid to summon a duelist from another age. That is me! I'm the duelist from another age. Now we get to talk to Simon and Seto. I wanna side with. I'll just. Someone from the mythic. I'm not gonna do different voices. Mystic circle of red and white roses, the one capable of harnessing pure power. There was truth to the legend of the Rose Duelist. Lady Margaret, I did it. Now we have the means for defeating the evil forces of Rosenkreuz. Oh, my apologies. In my excitement, I forgot I was in the presence of the Rose Duelist. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Simon McMurrin, High Druid and Servant of Lancaster. May I be so bold as to ask the name by which the Rose Duelist would like to be known? We already know that. I am Nick. I don't even think I did my proper intro to this video. Let's see here. Is that done? Yeah, there we go. Nick, a fine name indeed. Now here's the situation. The year is 1485 in Europe. You are currently in Stonehenge, near Salisbury, England. This is extremely long, but I want to do this intro like this. The British Empire is in turmoil, with the House of Lancaster's rightful claim to the throne being challenged by the Yorkist usurpers? I have no idea how to pronounce that. But I don't know. I wish they just spoke on their own so I didn't have to read it, but it's an older game, so I don't really blame them for me having to read it. The power struggle is referred to as the Wars of the Roses, a name based on the badges used by both sides. A red rose for the Lancastrians and a white rose for the Yorkists. Right now our kingdom is threatened by the Yorkists and their wrongful claim to the throne. All because the Yorkists enjoyed the support of the Rose Crusaders and their sorcerous white rose cards. Using our red rose cards, we summoned you, Nick, to this day and age. We hope that your dueling experience would defeat the Rose Crusaders and lead us to victory. You will help us? Of course you will. Foolish of me to even doubt where your loyalty lies. Rumor has it that only the legendary Rose Duelist stands a chance against the power of Rosenkreuz. We appreciate any help you can provide against them. Before I forget, I should warn you that the rules to dueling differ here from those of your age. Here in England, dueling is governed by what is known as the perfect rule. In addition to several minor distinctions, there are 2 major differences. One is the existence of movement or positioning. The other is the deck leader concept. These are two aspects of dueling that were lost in the process when the ancient sport of duel monsters was adopted to card form. The perfect rule represents these lost rules that were miraculously received here in England. Perhaps a practice duel will serve better than an explanation, shall we? No, don't play a practice duel. I already know how to do this. First, Nick, you must select a deck to duel with. It is important that you feel the vibrations of a deck leader. That is creepy. The minute resonations that ring true to your soul. The cards themselves draw their power from the energies of the Ancient Ones. The deck leader acts as an intermediate between the Ancient Ones and the deck wielder. Nick, it is essential that you select a card whose rhythm matches that stirrings of your soul. I haven't read this much in forever. I don't read. This is intense. Here are several decks from which to choose. Give it some serious thought and make your selection. I don't even know what I read wrong there. Choose carefully, for the deck you select will guide the destiny of your soul. You guys pick the deck already? Let's see here. I think I want Fairy King Truesdale, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I'm gonna go Fairy Guy. Yeah, I'm gonna go Fairy King Truesdale. Ah, I see you have selected your deck. So that's the effect of the Celtic Red Rose cards. It looks like there's some truth to the rumor that Rose cards are capable of time transformation. Who's there? It's been some time since the Battle of Barnet, old one. Rosenkreuz, what brings you here? Only a member of the Rose Crusaders may call me by that name. If you may recall, I told you once before that you may only address me as Seto. Or does memory fail you, old man? And you must be the dreaded Rose Duelist. I must admit there's a certain aura of power emanating from you. I believe an introduction is in order. I am Seto, leader of the Rose Crusaders. There are members of our little group who prefer to call me by the name of C. Rosenkreuz. I ask you again, what brings you here, Seto? Mind your manners, old man. What else would bring me here? I've come for the Red Rose cards. After all, it was you who showed me how the summoning capabilities would evolve when the Rose cards are combined with the transport powers of the White Rose cards. You aren't thinking of attempting the Forbidden Rose summoning? If so, then the Red Rose cards must never fall into your evil hands. Card sorcery taps into the powers of the Ancient Ones. By their very nature, each card is a double-edged sword that can cut both ways. The Rose cards alone harness tremendous power. There's no telling what horrors one might unleash to the world by combining both red and white. It becomes pink. I will sacrifice my own life if need be to prevent any from uttering the spell of doom. The spell of doom? Fool. The 16 red and white rose cards grant power over all. Druid legend has twisted the true meaning of these cards. We Rose Crusaders have sworn to create a utopia free from the ravages of war. We intend to accomplish this with the power of the cards. And we shall do so by extending the rule of Richard III throughout the known world. ... By the way, it was clever of you to form a circle of red roses within the white rose barriers to summon the Rose Duelist. But you were foolish to come alone. This area is surrounded, and if you wish to leave with your life, you will do so only by handing over the red rose cards. Me? A fool? Then what about you? Are you fool enough to actually believe the red rose cards would remain here in my possession? Right after the summoning, I had the cards dispersed among our best duelists to keep them from your tainted hands. Then you leave me with but one option. I shall enlist the aid of your precious Rose Duelist. You take leave of your senses? And you speak too soon, old man. Heed my words, Duelist. If you wish to return to your proper time period, you will require 16 cards of the red and white roses. The red and white positions must be laid out in reverse of the summoning order to send you home. You know the spell? Since you need the 16 Rose cards just as much as we do, I propose a partnership. Help us gather the cards and I shall guarantee your return after we've achieved our ultimate goal. An absurd proposal. Do you think that the Honorable Nick would even lend an ear to your ridiculous proposal? Can you be so sure, old man? Let me see. Simon's side has 8 of the red rose cards, while my side, the Rose Crusaders, has possession of the 8 white rose cards. As the numbers are even, simple arithmetic indicates that you could side with either of us. But I'm sure you'll take into account who's winning this war after all. Who was desperate enough to summon you in the first place? I think it's quite clear which side is better positioned to send you home. Nick. Need not the words of this power-hungry lunatic. Wow, it rhymed. Simon, must you resort to name-calling? I'm hurt. I'll tell you what. Why don't we leave the decision to our dear duelist? After all, Simon, the duelist's future is not for us to decide now, is it? Well, yes, but... Splendid, indeed. With the tradition of the old temple gardens, I offer you a choice, duelist. Here are 2 roses. The white represents me, and the red for old Simon here. For the sake of justice, choose the red rose. Stand by my side, duelist. Choose the white rose. I'm going white. I always side with Seto first, because I want to get the Dark Magician that lies at the end. If I could get the blue eyes from Seto instead of having to get it in the slot machine, I would choose to go on to I choose the red rose. A wise choice, duelist. I see you are well versed in judging a situation. Welcome to the Rose Crusaders. I am honored. Okay, old man, it's time you made yourself scarce. What are you doing? Stop! No! Okay. Don't worry, I'm going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you. I just need you out of the way until everything is settled. Now, let's talk about the red rose cards. Oh, he was talking to Simon there. Simon mentioned that he spread the cards among certain individuals just after summoning you. I think it's safe to assume that a large number of those individuals are his confederates currently located in France. I would like to ask you to enter France from Dover and retrieve those cards for our cause. I would go myself, however, I'm needed here to maintain our barrier against any invading forces. According to the legend, one must use a deck whose cost is lower than an opponent's to capture a rose card of another color. Remember, a deck that costs lower than that of an opponent is the key. I've also heard somewhere that the Celts inherited their rose cards from the original inhabitants of Stonehenge. This would mean that our enemy Yugi, who comes from a line of Welsh nobility, would likely have inherited one of the red rose cards. This means that those who oppose the Rose Crusaders are sufficiently equipped to duel against us as equals. Given their desperate situation, they will retaliate with everything they've got. It would be wise not to underestimate them. I'm depending on you. Here we go. First duel, I believe it's against Taya, which it doesn't really matter. The only thing about starting on this side is the problem of the fact that they're higher. When you start over here, you get the option to duel Weevil and Rex Raptor, and they've got some pretty low. And then you quickly get Bones, who's over here, and he's pretty cheap too. So, I don't know. When I originally played this a long time ago, my very first save file that's now gone, because I originally sold my PS2, I had like 3,000 wins or something like that. It was like 3,000-0, but nowhere near. I was 3,004 or something like that. Had all the latest and not latest, but I had all the greatest cards and whatnot. I don't know why it goes all the way up here. I don't think there's anybody like past here. Actually, I think there's somebody there, but I don't know. Yeah, but that's going to do it for this episode. Next episode, we will take on Taya. We'll go up against our very first. The first duel will be technically episode 3. So I'm looking forward to that episode to kick this off. I'll probably do one duel an episode, unless one duel takes me like 30, not 30 seconds, but like 5 minutes or something like that. But we will wait and see. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you all later. Peace out, guys.